Good morning, students. So today we are going to be creating a mountain landscape. You are studying extreme settings in Wit and Wisdom right now. And I know that you either have been or will be looking at mountain ranges from all around the world, including the Appalachian Mountains, which are right in the United States, the Andes, which are in South America, and the Alps mountains, which are in Europe. All right. So to begin with, I want to review with you foreground, middle ground, and background. And I'll review that as I am starting to create these mountains. Oh, I also forgot the Himalayas, which are near China and Nepal and Bangladesh and India and Pakistan. The Himalayas are like right in the middle of all of that. All right. But just beautiful mountains. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and first, I'm just gonna draw in marker, honestly. You guys start off with the pencil. That's probably the best way to do it. All right. And I'm gonna make my foreground. I'll make my horizon line actually. And remember, the horizon line is the line that separates the ground from the sky. In this case, the ground will be down here, and then the mountains will be in the background with the sky, okay? So here's what I'm gonna do. I can decide whether I want my horizon line to be straight, although in nature is land straight. It's usually, in many instances, not completely straight, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and add some little hills here. So I'm not adding my mountains yet, but this is along the, I would say, middle ground. So everything down here is foreground. Those are going to be things that you draw that are very close up in the foreground. In fact, I'm gonna label that so that you can see it. Please, you don't have to label your paper. All right, but you may if you want. Everything in the foreground is going to be large, all right? Now I'm gonna add a little stream, and I'm just gonna go ahead and make like a wavy line all the way to the edge of the paper. And then watch what I do. I'm gonna start from the horizon line here and copy that stream line again. And it's gonna be really close to that other one. And then as I get closer to the foreground, it's going to go further apart. Why is that? Well, I'm showing depth in my artwork, all right? I am showing that this path is much bigger because it's close to us in the foreground. So I want the lines to be wider. And then as I go back, it's getting further away, right? So we wanna make it narrower, okay? So if you wanna draw a little pathway or a stream, and I might add some little stream lines just to show that that's gonna be water, all right? Now, one thing I noticed as I was going through these mountain pictures I'm gonna show you is that in some of the mountains, I'm kind of looking at a combination of all of these different mountain ranges from around the world. Some of these mountains you see trees, and some of them in all the snapshots there aren't really trees, right? I'm gonna go ahead and just add, let me see here. I'll add a few trees. All right, so foreground. This area is the middle ground, okay? And then, yeah, in fact, I'll write that down. okay? And then here's some trees. And here's an easy way to do some trees. Now these aren't the mountains yet. So say I'm in an area where there's a lot of pine trees. Just give the idea that they're pine trees, right? By showing that triangular shape at the top. And this is an easy way to draw lots of trees all at once. Because if they're far away, you're not gonna see all those details, right? All right. I love these kinds of landscapes because I'm showing lots of layers. There's a lot of detail. All right, I'll go back and I'll add my colors later. Now here's the fun part, the mountains. Some of you have drawn mountains before. Now, we're not just gonna draw the one hump right there, right? Let's make them a little bit more interesting. In fact, as I'm doing this again, I'm looking at these pictures of mountains that I found, and I'm really, really into the Andes Mountains. I really think they're beautiful. So let me go ahead and I'm just gonna notice this one is not even perfectly triangular at the top, right? And maybe there's like a little bit of a smaller one connected. Think about what mountains are, right? They're rocks that have been like broken up over time, and they come not just in perfect like triangular forms, right? They're all very different. So maybe this one's a little bit more flat and then triangular. There is my mountain range. Done, right? Nah. You can either add more details with your pencil and marker, or you can go ahead and just think about that as you are adding your watercolor. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start adding my color now. I have got some paint right here. These are my watercolors. I'm gonna go ahead and use those. Oh, I forgot, guys, everything past the horizon line that is in the background, all right? So I'm just gonna label that background. Background. All right, those are the things that are furthest away from you. And yes, these mountains look huge, but guess what? If you were up close, you would not be able to see all of them, right? So this is, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and just add some lines here. And I'll keep some pictures of mountains up so you can have some ideas. Maybe yours have snow on the top and maybe they don't, right? Okay. I've got my brush. Make sure that you use one that's got a decent size like point to it, okay? And I'm gonna use a lot of water just to get going. I wanna really wet that paint. Now you can use this little mixing area to mix up your colors if you'd like. All right, I'm gonna start by just filling in. Now, you guys know that if you want different shades of colors, you can experiment. Like maybe for my trees, maybe I'll want more of like a forest or pine green, right? Maybe I don't want a green that is that light. So I'm gonna go ahead and if I put some green over here in my little well, right there is what I call that, my little mixing well, okay? Rinse my brush. I'm gonna grab just a teeny bit of black, just the littlest amount. And when I add that, it makes it a darker shade of green. All right, so there we go. Now, I'm gonna show you guys when we have class, the finished piece, okay? But I'm gonna stop this video right here because we've drawn the mountainscape together and I will show you the details after. All right, foreground, middle ground, background. Things in the foreground are large. Things in the middle ground are medium size. Things in the background are really, really small. All right, and who knows, maybe you want to add a little tree here. Maybe you want to have like it's sunset or something like that. Or maybe it's peeking out above the mountains. I'll see you guys in class. Enjoy, and I will talk to you soon, and I'll show you the finished picture.